Hi, my name is Napatita Visutikun, and this is the midterm course summary for ISC 266, Fundamental of Food Science and Technology. Food is a nutritious substance that living creatures consume in order to maintain life and growth. When food is processed, it goes through a series of steps to make it safer to eat, more convenient, easier to store and transport, longer shelf life, adding extra nutrients, and also improve the taste. Although chefs and scientists both work with food, a chef is more concerned about the taste, decorations, and also works in a restaurant. Whereas a food scientist works in a lab or factory and uses technology to make the food safer for consumers, extending the shelf life and making food for mass production. At the dawn of time before 10,000 BC, humans learned how to control fire and used it to heat and smoke food they got from hunting. 10,000 BC, humans would use heat and wind from nature to dry their produce as they learned to farm. 2500 BC, humans used mills to turn their grains into flour. 30 BC, humans discovered brining, which is using salt solution to ferment food. 1810, canning or sterilization was discovered by Nicholas Appert, becoming popular during World War I. 1860, Louis Pasteur discovered pasteurization. 1880 to 1910s, refrigeration was discovered. 1920s to 1930s, freezing was discovered. 1930s was the discovery of penicillin, an antibiotic also used in food preservation. 1940s, spray drying was registered as a patent, which turns liquids into dry powder. 1950s, food irradiation uses gamma rays to sterilize food without using heat. 1960s, aseptic processing, or as we know as UHT products. 1970s, microwave technology using microwave radiation to cook food. 1980s, sous vide, which is a French term meaning under the vacuum. 1990s, retort pouches, which is similar to canning process, but the packaging is more flexible, allowing less damage during transport. There are many up-and-coming technologies in the future, but as of today, we have high-pressure technology, ohmic heating, 3D printing technology, and natural preservatives. In 24 hours, most people eat 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is called a diet, the sequence and balance of meals in a day. Nutrition is a substance contained in food that interacts with our body and allows us to grow, build tissues, and produce energy. Your body is made out of 60% water, 20 to 25% fat, 15% protein, and the rest are vitamins and minerals, so it's important to eat a healthy balance of different types of nutrients. It is also important to note that although water is not considered a nutrient, it is an essential substance that humans must consume in order to live. Macro means large, so we have to eat large amounts of it per day. Macronutrients consist of carbohydrates, are the sugars that supplies most of the energy we get from food. They provide 4 calories per 1 gram. Simple carbs contain sugar that provide fast energy that can be absorbed and used quickly, but too much can be bad for your blood sugar levels. Simple carbs contain 1 or 2 sugar molecules, known as monosaccharides or disaccharides. Because they're so small, they take less time for enzymes to break down the linkage between the molecules and absorb. On the other hand, complex carbs take longer to absorb and use, but also provide longer-lasting energy. Complex carb contains 3 or more sugar molecules. In animals, we store energy as glycogen, and in plants, it is stored as starch. Fiber is also a complex carb found in plants, although humans cannot digest it, so we rely on probiotics to digest it for us. There are 3 types of sugars: natural sugars found naturally in food containing 4 calories, sugar alcohols, which has a similar structure to an alcohol molecule, is also found naturally in food, containing around 2 calories, and artificial sweeteners, which are chemical made, provide 0 calories. Proteins mainly build and repair body tissues, but also provide us with 4 calories per 1 gram. Complete proteins can be found in animal products containing high amounts of essential amino acids, which are the smallest unit of protein. Essential means that our bodies cannot produce them naturally, so we have to eat them from food instead. Incomplete proteins are found in plant products and contain lower amounts of essential amino acids. Fat is a nutrient that contains the most calories, at 9 calories per gram. It supplies energy and transport nutrients around our body. Saturated fats are solid at room temperature, and too much can clog your arteries and veins. Unsaturated fats are liquid at room temperature. While trans fats are made by combining unsaturated fat with hydrogen, This is probably the worst type of fat to eat and isn't needed by your body. Micro means small, so we have to eat small amounts of it per day. Micronutrients consist of vitamins, which regulate chemical reactions that allow us to use energy from food, and some are water-soluble, some are fat-soluble. Minerals, on the other hand, regulate our cellular activities. Perishable food, which lasts several days to weeks. Semi-perishable food, lasting 6 months to a year. Stable or non-perishable will not spoil unless stored in improper conditions. Deterioration is a continuous process from the moment the food is harvested until the point where it is no longer edible. The food will be considered spoiled. Eating spoiled food can just be unpleasant, or it can potentially cause foodborne illness, or it can become an outbreak if it involves 2 or more people who eat the same food. It's usually caused by improper preparation, such as poor personal hygiene, cross-contamination, or not cooking the food to the right temperature. There are many signs of food spoilage to look out for, such as changes in appearance, mold growth, changes in color, texture, odor, and flavor. If the package has an expiration date, it's best to not eat it after that. But if it says best before, it is more of a guide. The most important cause of food spoilage is the growth of microorganisms, or MO, caused by 3 types: bacteria, yeast, and molds. Some beneficial MOs are used in food production, but harmful MO can spoil your food and cause sickness. Intrinsic factors are the components within the food that promotes MO growth. Higher water activity and higher sugar content means higher spoilage, while acidic foods mean lower spoilage. Extrinsic factors are the storage conditions of the food. Higher relative humidity in the air, hotter climates, and higher oxygen levels all mean higher spoilage. The danger zone for food spoilage is around 5 to 60 degrees Celsius, where MO can grow the most. Sarcophile bacteria grows best at 15 degrees Celsius, mesophiles at 37, and thermophiles at 50. Relative humidity, or RH, is the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. If the food is stored somewhere too humid, the water activity within the food will increase and undergo spoilage. Enzymatic browning is a chemical reaction that occurs in certain foods. When a chemical compound, phenolic, an enzyme polyphenol oxidase contained within food meets the oxygen on the outside, a reaction can occur and browning is the result. Rancidity is when food that contains a lot of fats and oils come in contact with oxygen, creating the unpleasant smell known as rancidity. Maillard reaction is actually a beneficial, non-enzymatic reaction and occurs when food that contains sugar and amino acids are heated. This gives a brown color as well as new flavors. Other causes of spoilage include insects, birds, or rodents that carry disease or MO, as well as cause mechanical damage from biting into the food. Food processing turns raw materials into intermediate or finished products which are ready for cooking or eating. Unit operation is one step within a process, which is a series of steps. In strawberry jam production, material handling is the first unit operation. Here, we receive the harvested fruit from the farm as a raw material. Then they are selected for the color, size, and ripeness. Any fruits that don't make the cut will be discarded. Then the stems are cut so only the flesh remains. Then the strawberries are washed with a water bath to clean out any dirt. The mixing process incorporates the mixture together and also transfers heat to pasteurize the jam. The mixture is boiled at 50 to 60 degrees to prevent the loss of aroma and taste. Pressure is also applied to lower the boiling point. After 20 minutes of boiling, pectin from lemon peel is added. Then acid is added after. Glass jars are sterilized using hot water before it is filled with the jam mixture. Then label stickers are wrapped around the jar so that it can be ready for packaging and shipping. Cooling is a unit operation that removes heat energy to 4 to 10 degrees Celsius. This will slow down the MO growth and chemical reactions, but will not stop it completely. As heat is removed from food, the motion of molecules will slow down, causing chemical reactions, enzymatic reactions, MO growth, and physical processes like evaporation and color change to all slow down. However, this does not kill MO or denature enzymes like heating does. Listeria is a sarcophile bacteria found in contaminated dairy, poultry, and meat. When consumed, some people might have a mild fever, but for immunocompromised people, Listeria has a 20% death rate. The most common methods of chilling including air coolers and hydrocoolers. Lower room temperature, lower oxygen levels, higher RH levels, and good air circulation all means a faster chilling rate. Chilling injuries occurs in fruits of tropical regions. When chilled at a temperature lower than the critical non-freezing temperature, changes occur such as the skin or flesh changing colors, soaking up water, and changing in textures. Freezing is a unit operation that removes the heat energy of food to -9 to -12 degrees. This causes the water in food to change state into ice crystals and completely stops MO growth and even kills some of them. This method of food preservation takes less time than drying or canning and can retain more nutrition, taste, and texture than heating methods. However, there are some issues with freezing as well. Before the food is completely frozen, some chemical reactions might occur and cause deterioration, so frozen foods are blanched or vacuum packed before. Drip loss can also occur when freezer temperature fluctuates and causes the food to become dry or loses its texture. The food must also be packaged well in order to prevent freezer burns, oxidation, and crystallization on the food surface. In slow freezing, large ice crystals would form inside the food, which can damage or rupture the cells. On the other hand, quick freezing will create smaller ice crystals that are spread throughout and will reduce the damage to cells. Air freezing is the oldest, cheapest, but slowest method of freezing, which uses air as the transfer medium, some with still air, some with flowing airs. Fluidized bed freezing uses cold air to blow the food upwards and quickly freezes small foods like peas. Plate freezing uses a refrigerant to indirectly freeze food into a solid ice block. Cryogenic freezing sprays or soaks food directly with liquid nitrogen to freeze individual food particles. Thermal processing is a unit operation done to reduce or destroy MO or enzymes that can cause food spoilage or foodborne illness, as well as to cook certain foods to become edible, such as the gelatinization of rice or the denaturing of egg protein. Blanching is often used as a pre-treatment for fruits and vegetables before undergoing canning, freezing, or drying. Pasteurization heats the food at a low temperature to inactivate enzymes and kill pathogens, but still leaves some MO that causes deterioration. Because of low temperature processing, most nutrients are still there. In milk, high temperature short time processing is heated at 72 Celsius for 15 seconds, extending shelf life to a few weeks. Sterilization aims to kill all the MO in food, including spores, so heat treatment must be very high. However, one type of bacteria called Clostridium botulinum, found in vegetables with soil attached, grows well in cans due to low oxygen levels. Consuming this bacteria can release deadly neurotoxins. In commercial sterilization, food is filled into containers, then heated to at least 121 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. Then it is hermetically sealed. This method allows the food to last 2 years or more. Ultra-high temperature processing, or UHT, sterilizes liquid food at above 135 degrees Celsius for 1 to 2 seconds. It's then sealed in a UHT packaging that can be stored into the food for 6 to 9 months without needing to be refrigerated. Concentration is the removal of water from liquid food. The end product will have a darker color and less volume, but it must still be a flowing liquid, otherwise it would be considered a drying process. It's mostly done in milk, fruit juice, or coffee and tea extracts. Concentrated products will reduce packaging, transport weight, storage space, and will lengthen its shelf life. Sometimes it was also done as pre-treatment for drying, crystallization, or mixing. There are 3 methods to concentrate liquids. Evaporation removes water through vaporization or boiling. Heat is applied to the solution and water changes state into vapor and evaporates to the surface. However, in the heating process, not only water may be evaporated, but some scent compounds or nutrients are lost in this process. Membrane processing uses a semi-permeable membrane that only allows certain substances to pass through, like a filter. Pressure is applied to push the solution through the other side of the membrane. Smaller pores mean higher pressure is needed. Freeze concentration is the opposite of evaporation. Heat is removed from the solution until small ice crystals form, then they are stirred until the crystals become larger. Then a separating spinner will remove the concentrated liquid from the ice. Thank you!